right.
Right on the Meepo. Live. Reporting, broadcasting
The first time from the center.
First
right. Show starts. Oh,
there
it is. Show starts at 7.
All right.
So you gonna be keeping track of it like this?
Yeah.
So we start at 7. Look at you driving the drum.
Tripping. It's live TV though.
Yeah, man. It's live, man. This is life. We ain't live, we life.
We life.
We life. We ain't live, we life.
We live.
We about to give Facebook life.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
The little Ross. Just finished setting it up right there. All right. Y'all can hear us okay out there, at least a little bit.
Somebody logged in?
Share this right quick, because we live. We're live, you know, so everybody, y'all can come on and sup with us. Put that right there. Can't keep it too far.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Come on and invite some friends.
Yeah, invite some friends.
So I can, go ahead on.
Tell them it's going around.
See how this work out. We live.
I can't go live without my wood.
You can't do it, huh?
I can't go live without my wood, man.
I'll tell you what, man. It's got to be like the first time ever I done ever went live. So this is like a world premiere.
World premiere of the center of Messenger King. Yeah. What is the center of Messenger King?
That which is all things.
That which is all things manifested.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
May manifest.
May manifest.
So we're going to have some fun tonight. The show starts in about an hour. I mean, about a minute. A minute is an hour. It depends on where you're from.
Where you from? So we're going to get started by waking y'all up. Come on, Ryan. Play something I'm going to follow you.
So according to this clock, it's about
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. We're right on time. Welcome to this edition of the Messenger of the Message, reporting, broadcasting live from the center in this beautiful land, this space we call Earth. We're gonna get things started. We're gonna get things started right. Traditionally, we like to go ahead on and ask the ancestors and welcome all the energy, the different energies from around that we can't perceive visually with our eyes, with our fleshly eyes, but we're gonna go ahead on and make them know that they are welcome in this space tonight. Brother Corey here is gonna go ahead on and get us started the traditional way.
With the power of Almighty God and the blessings of our ancestors, I'm now going to pour libation to call upon the energies that we all are, the energies that walked this earth before us, the enlightened beings that walked this earth before we did. I've been taught and I've learned that pouring libation is something that we should consider sacred. And today, I'm going to call upon someone that recently crossed over, but in her life, she was definitely an enlightened being. Savannah Guillory. Savannah Bob Guillory. Ashe. Ashe. I ask that you be comfortable. I ask that you be powerful wherever you are now. I ask that you join us and join your strength with ours to make us even more effective in this world. I call upon my man Timiz.
That's it.
All Timiz Bob, my man Timiz, I call upon you to be with us, to bring your knowledge, to bring your joy, your spirit here today with us. And if you, at this time, have any ancestors that you would like to call on, say their names aloud. Right now, say it right now, and I'm going to pour libation unto their energy and their spirit.
All those that come before me and all those that shall come after me.
Ashe. Is there anybody that you would like to call on at this time?
All those
that came
come
before you,
me,
and all those that's coming after you.
That will be after.
And I'm going to pour up to him.
Ashe.
And I pour up to you. Ashe. Let it be so.
It's a brother cool room, man.
Yes,
keeping the energy going. They call it the feng shui.
The feng something for sure.
We're going to go ahead on and get into a small selection. We're going to go ahead on and get into a small selection.
We're going to share with you.
We're going to share a bit of something that we've picked up along our journey. Something that me personally has carried me through some interesting times.
Right, so this selection we're going to play is to welcome you to our broadcast. It's to welcome you to into our life, into our spirit, and so welcome. Welcome. Sit back. If you're driving, keep your eyes open. If you're not driving, if you're sitting down, go ahead and close your eyes, man, and bring yourself into our space. I don't know who's on right now. I don't know who's commenting. I'm talking to you. If you're there, I'm talking to you. It don't matter what time it is, where you are on this planet, I'm addressing you. So right now, I welcome you into my space, and Brother Ryan welcomes you. Messenger King, welcomes you. Welcome into his space. Ashe. The first edition
of the message that is broadcasting live from the center. And so the message, for those that are not familiar with the show,
we're going to say it together. Let's count to three. We're going to say it together.
We're going to say what's that?
The message together.
The message.
We're going to verbalize it together.
1 and 2
and 3.
That's what we're going to say 3, man.
Oh, no, man. Come on, man. We got to get it together, y'all. This is our first one. We working on it. All right, now. We love y'all. So what I meant was 1, 2, 3.
Welcome.
The message, man.
What's
the
that?
Message.
Oh,
I wanted you
man,
to say the message, man.
The message. Okay, let's try it again.
We're going to try it again for everybody at home. This is the message that we want the world We want the universe. We want every human being on this. The animals already know, right? So we want all of the human beings on this planet to get this message. That's right. You ready, brother? On three. This is the most important part of this show. Might be the smallest, but it's the most important part. Ready? 1, 2, 3. God is almighty.
All right, that's the message you're talking about?
That's the message.
That's the message.
That is the message.
That sounds so simple, though.
It is. It is simple.
It's simple.
It's simple as a molecule.
Well, I ain't sharing with you that time. I said the last part of it. But the first half, I was just like,
so you want to try it again?
One more time.
All right, if you at home, if you in the car, if you're doing anything and you watching this video, you can say this with us. Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. God is almighty.
And so the message is a show that is brought to you guys and brought to the world in this common physical expression by the Society of Knowledge Incorporated. The Society of Knowledge was constituted about 40 some odd years ago.
No, 1979.
1979?
38 years ago to be exact. 40
some odd years ago.
Bro, you're not going to make me 40 years old, man. You're not going to do it. Even though the evidence sits on the crown of my head. The evidence sits on the crown of my head. You're not going to make me 40-something.
A little more time.
A little more time, man, and I'll be there. According to the, the linear expression of, human beings that feel like they're in charge these days. But yeah, so 38 years of Society of Knowledge has been an institution dedicated to spreading the message. The message is where you begin. The message will also be where you end. And if you're interested in knowing anything more about the message, or you want to discuss the message, feel free to comment. Feel free to inbox me. Feel free to inbox Brother Ryan King on Facebook. And also Donatus King, who is our elder messenger, and the first individual to receive the message in the unique way that he did. And I've seen the message, and you can see the message, and allow the message to reverberate around this planet until every human being is aware of the simple message: God is almighty. A lot of you, talk about God in your life. Some of you talk about God more than others. Some of you experience and do things of God.
Yeah, some of us.
More than others. However, the message is for all of you. God is almighty.
And on that note, when you say the message is for all of you, what he's saying basically is encapsulated within the society itself, within the framework. The society is a spiritual, religious, interdenominational organization. So it's not particular to just Christianity, it's not particular to just Judaism or any other
known religion.
Known religion.
Theology or ideology.
Everyone is invited.
Everyone, every human being
even if you
on
claim,
the planet.
Even if you claim no religion, you're still invited.
You're invited.
What the society is an opportunity to openly express what's most deep inside of you.
Right.
God is,
we want to share how God is almighty in our lives, and we want you to share with us how God is almighty, how God isn't almighty. Like you said, for those of them that don't believe in this thing we call God, we want you to come and share with us. Come and share your existence.
That's right. What we find is that at the root of it, even when someone says that they don't believe in any of the established or organized religions out there, they still believe that there is some power higher or greater than themselves that controls and manifests things within this reality. So no matter by what name we might come to call this being, and we still understand that it's something superior to ourselves.
For instance, I'm about to disagree with Brother Ryan.
Go right on ahead.
So here we go. The first debate of sorts. Here we go. Brother Ryan said to discuss something that is greater than ourselves. I am of the impression and the knowledge that there is nothing greater than me.
Okay.
I am that which is all things. And so in light of that, you know, I disagree in part with something greater than me. That's something that you would describe as greater than me, I see as me. So, and you see, we still sitting here discussing in the Society of Knowledge, in the center, we still discussing these things. And we want you to be a part of that discussion as well.
That's right. And it seems we would actually be in agreement.
Oh, okay.
On some of the finer points.
Finer points, yeah. I love finer points.
The finer points.
I think everybody likes finer points, right?
You know, some people enjoy broad strokes.
Yeah, some do. Some do. I am a broad stroke, by the way.
Well, hey, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I'm a broad stroke of the flesh.
I mean, you know.
Hey, that's copyrighted. Y'all don't try to take that. I'm a broad stroke. I might get a T-shirt.
But on that note, however, in a physical, right, as we perceive things, it would seem that we are, you know, two separate things, right? And that there is something above us that is connecting us. So that thing would be superior, in a sense, to yourself and I.
And I have,
because it shares both that expression of that which is all things, and it also shares in this expression of that which is all things. So now, while I do agree that I am, you know, that which is all things being manifest in the flesh, I also understand that in our perceptions, you know, there would be something greater than just this on the physical.
Right.
Even though it's all connected and it's all the same.
Right.
And perception is a slight difference.
Difference. See, that's the word that I was looking for.
Or rather, degree of difference.
Right. There's a degree of difference. And the degree is not as much as a lot of people think it is. You know, we are special people, us human beings. We have this privilege, this opportunity to walk in this flesh, walk upon this earth, and
who angry?
And somebody angry?
Oh, that was I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Somebody's angry?
No, it was an accidental flick of the wrist.
Oh, you was angry.
Push of the pen.
Oh, you see y'all. See how Facebook has put these emojis on there. They can, you know, you can miss. You can misread
on and change that
emotions.
to a heart.
Yeah, change that to a heart.
I'm gonna change that to a heart.
Speaking of hearts, man, listen, I want to tell everybody out there, man. My name is Brother Corey. You can call. I also know people know me as the Chosen One. You know, I prefer no title, but I love you. You know, in this first episode, on this first day, I want to make sure that, man, if you get to this point in this video, I know we're going to be on for an hour. You know, a lot of human beings' attention spans are not, you know, into, you know, paying attention to everything. But if you make it to this part of the video, this part of this live broadcast, I want you to know that I love you. I love you more than anything. I love you as much as I love myself, and I you know, and I see you, and I want you to be the best that you can be. You know, I love you with all my heart, and I really, really want you to know that, and I want you to feel that.
That's right.
On the inside, so that if you just so happen to be going through something, just know with certainty that there is someone, something out there that loves you. And some people call it Brother Corey.
All right.
Or the Chosen One.
The Chosen One. Good on brand that. Good on brand that. And we all live. We all live. You see me manipulating something down here. I'm adjusting the angles on this beautiful equipment right here. But we have a lot of comments, a lot of conversation, discussion going on.
We got some people talking?
Yes, sir, in the comment section.
Section.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Okay.
Coming up this weekend, that's Brother Donatus King in New Orleans. Elder brother.
Elder Messenger always thinking of
Messenger
in big terms, you know.
All right,
I forgot all about this day they call Father's Day.
And somebody, it look like they're interested in finding out where they can come be a part of the show.
Oh, okay.
They said where we located at.
Where we located at? We are at, where we at?
We are live in the center.
According to the political reality of these United States of America, we are
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah, 101 Arizona Street.
And we'll be posting the address because this is with the equipment that we have is incredible. We can pop up anywhere,
right?
And we can broadcast live
and be live.
So we will let you guys know in advance if you'd like to come and join us in studio. You like our studio? What you think?
Man, listen, I bet we the only team out here whose studio is the Earth.
Hey,
the Earth.
When you put it that way,
our studio is the
Almighty.
Earth. You understand? And we're gonna reflect that in our show as it continues. And so you're welcome to join us. When you're welcome to join us, you're welcome to be part of you're part of the audience. You're welcome to share with us. We want to hear what you're thinking because this is about you.
It's an open discussion. It's an opportunity for us to be able to have a dialogue about what is God.
Right.
You know?
What is God?
What does God mean to us?
Mm-hmm.
And how is that applicable to our daily walk?
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's something that a lot of people are concerned about or have questions about. So we want to be here to discuss, answer questions, ask questions, so that we can all learn more about each other.
Right, to establish a common language in a sense. Although we're not here to convince anybody of nothing, we have the message. The message is God is Almighty.
God is Almighty.
And once we deliver that, that's what the rest of this is all about. Just what does that mean to us?
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, it's not to convince anybody. It's just to have an open space where we can laugh, we can joke, we can get angry at each other. But once we separate from that discussion, we're back to hugs. So it's not anything. Like I said, we're not trying to convince anything that the message is true, real, if it exists at all.
We just want to spread it.
What you do with it, just like the letter that the mailman drop off in your mailbox.
Hey, the mailman is not really concerned about whether you read it or not, if it's true or false or whatnot. And that's one analogy. I like the spread. So, imagine that you have a piece of bread, and we're gonna call that piece of bread the earth. I want to spread the message all over the earth.
You want your mayonnaise and bread sandwich?
Man, I've eaten those before, man. You playing them games, man. Listen. Mayonnaise and bread sandwich. Don't sneeze at it till you try it. You understand? Because at one time, that was a delicious snack.
A delicious snack.
Delicious
just spread
snack.
All over the bread.
Hey, just all over the bread.
Right,
hard, but all kind of carbs and fat and grease and all kind of stuff.
Everything all right on this end. I see somebody was asking about the police. Yes, something happening up the road. They're leaving now, but we all right because God is Almighty.
God is Almighty.
They saw us setting up right here, so they wanted to make a distraction in the background. Perhaps.
Yes, but indeed. Y'all can tell we live out there. These bugs is getting in my beard.
So Brother Anthony, he asks, Mr. Corey, Brother Corey, can you answer Mr. King's question?
Okay.
He asked if you are the whole. He wants to know.
Brother Anthony?
Brother Anthony.
Cherry?
Cherry. Right on top.
Brother Cherry. How you doing, Brother Cherry? First of all, it is an honor to have your attention. Yes, I am the whole.
Can't you see?
I am the whole. He being funny. But
Yeah.
yes, Brother Anthony Cherry, I am the whole. That's an answer to your question. And if I was to use my intelligence to delve a little farther into that, because you're physically not in my presence. I am the whole. You know, I am that which is all things. I am one thing, but I am also everything. So there is a part of me that manifests itself in trillions of different ways, in matter, in the feminine aspect of this life, and I am also the spiritual, the masculine aspect of this life. But who I am is one thing. What he said.
Bloop bloop.
You see, that's personal,
It's,
brother.
it's,
Why do you have to bring I into our first broadcast?
Hey, you see these drums in the background.
Yeah, you
right?
see the drums.
You think it was all right, I suppose.
All right, bloop bloop. Now you see. Now I have to explain to my audience what bloop bloop is.
They're gonna catch it on a later, on a much later show.
On a much later show. Yeah, we're gonna
tune in.
We gonna get
Tune
Brother
in.
Anthony to come on the show and explain what bloop bloop is.
It's a great idea.
That's a great
Brother
idea.
Anthony,
Brother
out
Anthony,
here
this
for
is a
couple
challenge.
weeks.
All right, we're either gonna come to you or have you come to us, and you're gonna explain to our audience, which is all human beings, what bloop bloop is. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready, because bloop bloop is part of the one. Just in case you was wondering, it is definitely part of the one. So, Brother Anthony Cherry, man, once again, thank you for your attention, my brother, and I hope I answered your question in a way that satisfies you. If not, of course, please comment or inbox, send your questions, and I'll discuss them on, at a later time if we run out of time tonight. But I love you, my brother.
All right, and so another question came in from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
If we are let me make sure I'm reading it correctly. So if we are the whole, we're looking at the whole from different angles, right? But who's doing the looking?
You are.
Wow, ain't that something?
You are.
If the premise we're starting out with is I am that which is all things, right? Then I would be the observer, and the thing being observed,
right?
And the action of observation.
Exactly. Sounds like a trinity almost, huh?
Hey, 3 legs you can stand up on.
You can stand up on that. And a lot of people say, well, man, how can you be this and how can you be that? How can you be that which is all things, right? So from the question that we got from one member of our audience was, how can you be the observer and the thing that is being observed? I am telling you that I am the thing that is observing, and I am the thing, or the it that is observing the thing, if you will. Now, I think what you really want to know is, are you that too?
That's deep.
Right? So I'm telling you that you are. Now, depending upon how much access you have to yourself will determine how much awareness you have about the very question that you asked me.
And that's interesting. You said awareness about the self.
Yes.
Most people, when they think of the word selfish, they think and only in terms of the physical body that they inhabit.
Right.
And that's a very narrow definition of the self. But once we began to stretch our scope of things, well, for me personally, this is what happened to me.
Share your testimony.
Well, I broadened my perspective of self, and now I'm self all over the place.
Right.
Self-treat, self-grasp. And from now we have what they say, do unto others, right? So if I'm looking at myself and all that I see, and I wouldn't want myself being mistreated or what have you, then I wouldn't go and attempt to do that to some other.
Absolutely. I mean, man, I learned as a kid, man. Shout out to the Opelousas Greater First Apostolic Church. I learned as a kid, man, that I took it very serious to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I'm gonna tell you, man, that is a very great thing. Just to realize, even if you have not crossed over into an actualization or realization of all that you are, if you could begin by treating others the way you want to be treated. That's a great way to start your journey.
I'm gonna have to ask you a question on that. So is it the way you want to be treated or the way that you treat yourself?
Well, the truth is, you are going to treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Now, a lot of people have problems with that, Brother Ryan, because they treat themselves horribly.
But they have a perception of how they would like to be treated.
They have a perception of how they would like to be treated.
But
therefore,
they treat themselves even adverse to that.
So being real is going to happen whether you want to be real or not. You're going to have to be real whether you want to be real or not. So as you treat yourself, that's how you're going to treat everything else around you. Whether you want to or not, that's what's going to happen. So you have a lot of people that say, oh, you know, man, I ain't got time for doing to somebody else as I would doing to myself, or I can't treat others the way I would treat myself, right? Well, one of the reasons they do that is because they are not willing to be real with themselves and say that they treat themselves like shit.
That's right, and that's one thing. That's one thing I've been walking by, and I can't figure how long now. Seemed like forever, but it was probably just yesterday. Right. You know, when you expect the most from yourself, you have the right
to expect the most from others. Everything. You know, so not just others, everything.
Yeah, exactly. From
everything. I expect the most from this planet.
Right. So if you say to yourself, well, I desire to be treated like this, and then you backdoor and you treat yourself different from how you would desire to be treated, then you would have to expect, or you can't expect anything more from anybody else. You know, so like you said, be honest, start with the self.
Right. You see, because what you're going to discover, my beautiful people, is that you're going to start treating yourself better and end treating yourself better.
Self.
That's going to be the beginning and the ending of your journey. And I challenge you to start today. Start today. Right?
Challenge accepted, my brother.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
God is almighty. Challenge accepted. Are you going to accept the challenge? Right? Right? So we're gonna do this little challenge here. If you treat someone the way you want to be treated, right? If you treat someone the way you want to be treated, post it. Post it. Not in an egotistical way. Just so that you can share with me. You can post it on my page. I'll post it on Brother Ryan's page. Okay. And share with us.
A question just come in. It says, what is the purpose of this? Well, the purpose of this is to deliver the message. And it's a simple message. God is almighty. Now, with that message, you know, we sit here and we're opening up the floor for discussion on that message to figure, you know, what is God? You know, what does God mean when you say God is almighty? What does almighty mean when you say almighty? And is, what is that word? What does that do? You know, and so this is the opportunity for us to come together at a table and communicate, talk with each other, establish a common understanding,
share.
You know, and that's the foundation of what the Society of Knowledge is a interdenominational religious and spiritual organization. You know, so it doesn't discount any one religion, it doesn't raise anyone higher than the other. And so this is an opportunity for us to elevate.
Right. And if I had to use my own words that I'm responsible for creating, I would say that this is about sharing, ladies and gentlemen. This is about sharing, right? And understand how deep sharing is, right? Now, I'm going to start at the very beginning of this thing that you call life. Your father shared something with your mother that brought you here. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So this is about sharing, right? Someone, as an infant, regardless of whether it was your mother or father, no one owes you anything. How many children have you seen left by the wayside or aborted before they even got here? Nobody owes you anything. Life doesn't work that way. but someone shared with you as an infant, oh, you wouldn't be here. Your mother shared of her body with you, or you wouldn't be here. So right now, we are sharing. We are sharing the fact that we exist so that you can also exist. And we want to share our existence with you and intertwine those things.
That was an interesting little phrase you put there. You said, how you put that again?
Share.
You said we here, you know, because of you, or without us wouldn't be no you. Something along that, something along those lines. And I was just looking into some Buddhist philosophy, and it says, and it talks about how, you know, no matter how insignificant something might seem, the world would not exist without it. You know? And that thing would not exist without the world, so it's like a two-way street.
What would we do it in the flesh? What would we do without bees?
You know?
Human beings would not exist the way they do without bees.
Man, you know, man, well, I agree. As they do.
As they do.
You know? And so, like you said, to come together, an opportunity to share.
Oh, you mentioned Buddhists. I want to all Buddhists, if we have anyone Buddhist watching, I'm grateful to have your attention. We love you.
That's it.
That's it.
You know? And so, I can't recall this is live TV, so sometimes if something come up, the camera pass, this is not scripted, ladies and gentlemen. But we appreciate for riding with us.
Unscripted. You see, I think somebody got unscripted commercialized. Brother Marshawn Lynch, I believe, got a show called Unscripted. So shout out to Marshawn Lynch, brother. We are thankful for your existence.
All right, see, we got the
Hey, what's up, big brother? Hey, we live, man.
We live.
We live on the earth, man.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
And so that's the thing. That's the thing about, you know, this show is, like I said, it's an opportunity for us to come together and just to discuss. You know, it's not to cut nobody down or anything like that. So we have another question. What is love?
What is love?
We appreciate everybody out there that's tuned in, that's engaged in this discussion. You know, we have a nice, long 30 minutes left to go with this thing.
Hey, man, so, please send your questions. Any questions that you have, ask us anything.
And that's what this is about. This is about sharing perspectives. So what you hear is not necessarily the opinion of the Society of Knowledge. The Society of Knowledge is just here to say, the Society of Knowledge is just here to say that God is Almighty.
That's
Everything after that is just our perspective. Personally, me, Brother Ryan.
Right.
Personally, Brother Corey.
Yes,
our perspectives, our opinions. You know, we just like that to discuss. So what is love?
What is love?
Wow, that's a big one.
My child. Love is a word.
Anything, ask anything, but you know, of course.
Yeah, ask anything.
What is love?
What is love? Love is a word. I believe it's spelled L-O-V-E, which would make it an English word.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, and I believe that whoever asked that question is trying to, it wants to know something more.
So what is more?
What is more?
Love?
Well, I want them to ask the question. Well, right? Because I know that, because I might not have given you the information you desire, but I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy. If you, you can answer differently. But when you say what is love, I'm going to say love is a beautiful word.
It's just a word, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a word, according to Brother Cole.
It's a word.
So what does this word represent? Is the question.
You're asking me that question.
What is
you're going to be them for them. Huh?
Hey, you know.
Okay, here we go. So what's your question?
The question is, what does the word love symbolize?
In my humble...
Message.
From the universe, in my humble opinion, love symbolizes or represents connection. And the most important connection that you can have is with yourself. I share. Yeah. So that would be my answer to your question.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what is love? Right? What does it symbolize? What does that word symbolize?
Connection.
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 That is a good connection.
That is a great
between
connection.
that symbolism
Right.
and what you may commonly see around on the streets.
Right. Well, a lot of
People connecting with each other.
Right. Remember, I told you a lot of people are treating themselves like shit. So when you treat yourself like shit, most of the times it's because you are connecting or disconnecting from things that don't benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
Or things that do benefit you, you disconnect from. Things that don't benefit you, you stay connected. You know, so you know, so a lot of people that are in that would have to ask that question: what is love? What is these things? What is all this I feel? They're not treating themselves well. That's why they have questions.
Well, but what if it's a person that's treating themselves supreme, but then
They just want to know.
they're just curious
Right.
to see if maybe they're either on the right track or they're off the right track.
Right.
You know?
But if they're doing that, that's the people that I tell love is a word,
Love is just a word.
and they get it.
You understand?
Then they understand.
All right. So love, well, I see love as a relationship, right, between two parties or two entities, two things, you know, that's mutually beneficial, and
A beneficial connection.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you know, and there's a
So with-
conscious acceptance.
I got a question with you.
Is a conscious acceptance
Mhm.
of those two persons or those two things of that relationship. You know, and so it's like, all right. I'm gonna bring it back. And I was going a little in a direction that would have.
Right. But it's okay. It's okay. So my question for you now, and for the person that asked what is love, right? And then you double back with a follow-up question to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now my question in response to that would be, love, right? Based on what you said, is a beneficial connection.
Right.
Would the word hate describe a non-beneficial connection?
On those terms, I would say so. It's just like what's good and what's evil.
Right.
And so that's a personal assessment
Right.
of what's good and what's evil,
Right.
just as love and hate is a personal assessment.
Right. Personal assessment. It's deep. When
Yeah.
you think about it, how many persons are there on the planet?
Several. I'm gonna just say that.
Several. Several.
I'm not gonna try to put it into
There's a lot of personal assessments. So, you know, and that's how deep it is, guys. Everyone has the power to choose what their assessment or what their philosophy on this is going to be. If you agree with me, fine. But I don't want you to just agree with me because I'm me or because I said it.
Right.
You know, I want you to have your own personal assessment. If you agree with me, fine. Hey, like they say in the book, take up your cross and follow. But if you don't, that's still fine also.
That's right. So now, does love hurt or build? Does love lead our children astray? Wow.
Let's go with the first one. Let's go with the first one.
Yeah. Now let's go ahead on
The first one,
and
does love hurt
because
or build?
earlier in our discussion, we were talking about self. What does self represent? You know, me personally, I feel like self represents not only this physical thing which you see here, but also everything that's around me, my entire environment. So now, if I consider pain to be love to myself, if I consider that the way that I know I exist by hurting myself, then I will express that same type of love to somebody else. Now that someone else may look at that love as hurt, I mean not as hurt, but as hate, because it's not in a way that they are used to being treated with love. You know, That's how I would look at it. So if you can hurt yourself, if you can lovingly hurt yourself, you can lovingly hurt everything else around you. But from one's own perspective, that might be perfectly fine, because that's one's own understanding.
What was the question?
Does love hurt?
Does love hurt or build? I think you asked.
Or build?
Does love hurt or build?
And
I'm gonna tell you. And love does build. So the answer to that question would be yes. And come join us in person so that we can follow up to these questions. There was another question after that. Go ahead and answer that.
Does love lead our children astray? I would have to say again, if you can lovingly lead yourself astray, that is to say, I love these cheeseburgers, and you continually eating these cheeseburgers, and you see that, even though it might give you a little bit of a good feeling when you were sad, in reality it's causing you more pain. It's clogging up your arteries, doing all these other different things to you, but you love it though. And so then you're going to do the same thing for your kids. I love my children so much, I don't want to see them crying. I'm going to buy them this toy. Or I'm going to buy them this order of fries or something like that, And so, yeah, love can lead our children astray. Just like love can build. Love is, is your definition of it.
Absolutely. Now, the question was, does love lead our children astray? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you a question, loved one. Have you ever stopped being someone's child? Have you ever stopped being someone's child? And have you ever felt like you had strayed? So when you ask the question, does love lead our children astray? Did love lead you astray?
Wow.
Because this thing that you call love, understand, I said it was a word, but what you know in your experience, did love lead you astray? And if it did, I would say, yes, love can lead our children astray.
That's a perspective.
Just one.
That's a perspective.
Yeah.
Whew. That's something you gotta take home and you gotta spend a little bit of time on that one.
No, man, it's about understanding, man. It's about understanding. I love y'all so much, man. I love y'all so much, and I'm so glad that we're doing this. Because I need to do this. I have to release some of the things I have in me, or I'm not gonna continue to live.
Oh, this brother, I don't know if my brother Michael asks, when you say I am, what do you mean?
That's what I mean. I am happy. That's one. That's what I mean. For today, that's gonna be my answer. If you want another answer, come see me in person.
Yeah.
But for me, Brother Ryan might give you a different answer. But for me, what does that mean that you are I am? That means that I exist happily. Now, you want more, you're going to have to come see me. And come give me the benefit of being in your presence. Unless you ask another one, and I have to answer it, so y'all keep the questions coming.
That's amazing. I am. That's one of those things is a powerful 3-letter phrase. There's only 3 letters. I am.
Right. Kind of like A-N-D.
Yeah.
3 letters.
So it's like whatever follows after that, it's just secondary. It's like the paint on top of the canvas.
Right.
It's the paint that makes up the artwork. The I am is the artwork. It's the piece, the whole thing, right? The paint is whatever else follows.
Right.
So it's like I am. Right? I am this, I am that. Yeah? What's that burning bush said to Moses?
I am.
I am that. I am. Check
You know-
him out. Check him out. What he said?
Yeah.
I am right? That. I am.
am.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I am that. I am. That's a good answer for me too. I like that.
So basically, he's saying, well, what that Bush was saying was that I am. That's it, right? And then somebody might have asked him, try to check him right quick. What he followed up with? That. I am.
Just in case you got a question. Just in case you got a question. I am that. I am. Like I am that. I am.
Yeah.
How can you put together? You see, this is what I loved about scribes of that time, man.
Uh-huh.
You know, to put together that phrase makes it eternal. You know, it makes it infinite. I am
That's it.
that I am. There's so much clarity in that, and then people walk
That's
in the
it.
knowledge
That's-
of that. That is the power that I know resides within you.
And you see,
Right.
and that's about accepting everything about yourself, really.
Mhm.
Right? When somebody said, wasn't you that person over there dropping it like it was hot? I am.
Yeah.
That I am. Right? Wasn't you that person over there just up in Sunday school and reading the Bible, then you went and ate some pig's feet or something?
I am.
I am.
Can you be straight enough with yourself? You see, you have to be so real with yourself.
True to yourself.
You got to be true to yourself in order to say I am.
I am.
You know what I'm saying? And so, in response to that, Michael, yeah, I am existing happily. That's what it means to me right now. I am means existing happily. And I want you to do the same.
Wow, a great question. This is a follow-up.
Okay, follow up.
This is a follow-up.
Uh-huh.
When you say I love you, what are you saying, Brother Corey? Because just earlier in the tape, you said
I expressed my
you
love.
all.
I expressed love. Yes, I did.
Who they drilling.
They
man.
drilling.
Woo.
This is our first episode, man. Normally people don't get these kind of questions till they a year in. You know, like, hey, but you know what?
We got to open up with it.
Hey, you know, I'm the chosen one, so I'm gonna go with it.
Oh, and before that, some people might have seen me look like I was resting my arm over the drum, over the head of the drum right here. This is not a table or anything like that, and I wasn't really, and I shouldn't have even put it up there for optics. But, you know, I'm sitting back, and this is usually how I sit, but there's no pressure on the drum. It's just an image.
Right.
But
So
for clarity's sake.
For clarity's sake. So, the question was, Brother Corey, I said love, right?
You said you love.
I said I love you, and they're asking me what I meant by that, right? What I meant by that was, I know with certainty that I am connected to you. And from this point of existence, that connection is a positive one. From this point of existence to where you are, that connection is a positive one. That connection creates a space for us to commune in such a way that you and I can become the greatest of ourselves. Not selves, self. And I will always be, I am connected to you. I was connected to you. I am connected to you. I will be connected to you. Ashe.
I see. That's right. Getting down to the brass tacks.
The brass tacks.
Yeah. You know. I see y'all out there. Y'all gonna be checking us.
Yeah, they better.
It's cool.
Everything is cool.
We here.
Did they ask
here.
another question? They asked something else?
Several.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Chosen for what?
Chosen. Oh, somebody. Ah. Oh, man. You know, man, I've been waiting on this question for about 30 years,
30
man.
years.
30 years, man.
Well,
30 years. It's a long time, but it's only yesterday.
Look like the people is ready for you now.
Who asked that question? Can you tell me that? Who asked that question? Chosen for what? I really want to show that person some love.
That's Sister Marge out here. Sister Marge, it's great to have you, Sister Marge, in this discussion. She's been keeping us on our toes the whole year.
Queen Mother, it is an honor to have your attention, truly. So, to her question. Chosen for what?
For what? What they say?
Queen Mother, I am chosen. I am chosen to help you realize that you have a choice in everything that you do.
That's deep, man.
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
What about breathing?
Choice.
What about waking up in the morning?
Choice.
Or in the afternoons? You know, some people, them artists, especially them artists. Man, I've been hanging around so many artists.
I'm gonna take it one deeper. You choose to sleep.
Okay.
So I'm the chosen one. What it means to me is that I am chosen to let you know that you are the chosen one. That's why I'm chosen. You are the one. That's what I guess the title means. It was given to me. I didn't create it for myself. But I'm chosen to reassure you that you are the most powerful individual in your life with certainty.
Okay. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Now that's a
I love you, Queen Mother.
That's a choice for one to choose itself to be the chosen one. Now that's a choice.
Beautiful choice.
Yeah. So they want that the people want to know what we're using for this. We're using a Mevo. Is this hot new technology that's out here. Is got an awesome feature on it. It just sits there, right? But we can get all these different shots. We can pan left, we can pan right, we can zoom in, we can zoom out. We don't have to move the camera at all. It's all operated from a handheld device, you know, just an ordinary telephone, just like that. You can set up different shots on it and everything. This is awesome. This is great. And so, like we said, we're going to pop up on you somewhere because it also has its own Wi-Fi hotspot.
Right.
Well, it creates a hotspot.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
So we can broadcast from anywhere.
Oh, I'm always good. You want to join us?
All right. And we all, like we said, we're live. We have a,
come on in the gate.
We have a visitor, a guest that's going to come on in and share it with us. You know, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you, Brother Ryan.
Happy Caleb.
And I'm Corey. Nice to meet you, man. You want to give me a seat?
Yeah, we have a chat right there for you.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook.
Oh,
disclaimer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't have a seat.
All right.
And so what we're doing, this is the show that we're on is called The Message.
Okay.
And basically, this is the message: God is Almighty. Simple as that. You know, and that's delivered by the Society of Knowledge. And then from there, as we sit here, and like I said, we're broadcasting live, so we engage with several different people right now. So there's an open discussion, and we can talk about what God means to us. Is God,
God means to you?
Know, and that's what it's about. It's an open discussion, an open dialogue.
So I'm gonna jump right into it.
Okay.
Right? If I looked at you, and what do you call yourself?
Caleb.
Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
So Caleb, if I told you that God is Almighty,
okay,
what does that mean to you?
To me, it means that God is capable of doing anything. He's the ruler over all, sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yeah.
Sovereign. That's a good.
Whew. Come on, man, Brother Caleb. Caleb.
Brother Caleb.
Brother Caleb. Now, if I also went a step further and said God is within you, God is Almighty, and God is within you, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means that the Holy Spirit is dwelling within me, and yeah, I don't know, like it is His Holy Spirit that is the one who is able to like basically produce good within me. So.
Absolutely. So, and we're gonna just let this line of questioning let it flow.
And like I said, it's not an interrogation or
No.
anything
I
like
just
that.
getting you to share.
You know, so if you feel like, you know, he done mentioned something that you feel is kind of off the wall, questioning.
Right.
All right.
Right. You see,
That's
because
what it's all
one of the things that I know is that you, in my opinion, should always have your own perspective. No one should. Who gave you your body?
God.
So that is the only perspective that you should consider. And I just told you from where I see things, God is almighty, right? So, and God is within you. So I want you to always use that God force, if you will, for you. What they call them? Astrophysicists out there.
Oh.
Y'all have fun with that one. But God is almighty. God is within you. And you advertising for ADT right now. Shout out to ADT.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, we don't have anything to do with ADT.
You know,
but the brother, no.
this is not the opinions, is what I'm saying.
But
ADT.
I am not an official representative of ADT.
All 100% of all ADT affiliates are welcome to the center and welcome on the message. So, have you ever experienced what some would describe as a miracle?
No, I do not believe I've experienced that.
Okay. Got to answer it, around. Be careful. So, do you know anyone that has experienced what you would call a miracle?
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You mind sharing that with us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I would, because God is almighty is the message.
Right.
Miracles, right, fan the flames of God being almighty.
Well, I would ask him this. What is a miracle? Define that.
What is a miracle to you?
What is a miracle to you? You asking this brother.
You want to ask that question?
I mean,
that's up to you.
Yeah, I would ask what a miracle is.
What is a miracle?
Same.
Life is a miracle.
It's true.
And in my experience, life is the only miracle. There are some things that people latch on to when it appears to be out of the ordinary. Right? 500 years ago, if Caleb had walked into a room with a light bulb and a power source and flicked the switch and turned on the light bulb, you would have been the world's greatest mind.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
People might have said that Caleb performed a miracle, and they would feel that God is almighty definitely in your presence, for sure. Would you say that?
Yeah, 500 years ago.
500 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But if you walk into a house and turn on the lights today, somebody might actually turn that on. They might say turn it on, right? Right. So, and it's not a miracle. It's not. So,
you're looking at ordinary things as a miracle. Is that what I'm?
That's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. That life. I don't want to say ordinary things because you got some people out there that's really, really paying attention.
I mean,
you know, right?
That's a miracle to me. I don't know how I blink my eyes. I mean, I might could do it, but I don't know the mechanics in order. To me, that's a miracle.
Right. So, in answer to your question of what is a miracle, I'm Brother Corey. So, what is a miracle, Brother Corey? Life is a miracle. Right? And your continued and developed and complete awareness of that life is also a miracle. So that's my answer. You know. So, but as you know God, and as you know God in others, is there a miracle or something out of the ordinary that proves to you that God is Almighty that you would like to share?
Like in my personal experience?
Personally,
Yeah, but you have a testimony.
A testimony
or
of
anything
any
you'd like to
sort.
share? Or?
Yeah, honestly, just looking, if you've ever been to Colorado or seen the mountains,
Yeah.
you know, I cannot drive through Colorado and not just be like, how in the world can you possibly think that is just there? That's just an accident. You just blew out of nowhere, you know?
Right.
It's like, that is just absolutely astounding and awe-inspiring. It's like, that's creation. Like, I mean, no one's going to walk around and say, hey, look at that iPhone, or look at your Samsung Galaxy and say, oh man, that just popped out of nowhere. Like, yeah, because obviously it had to be created. I mean, this earth is so much more complex than an iPhone.
I would have to agree with you.
And it's like,
so yeah. I got two things in response to that.
Okay.
Yeah. One.
Make them quick. We already an hour. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially passed 1 full hour of the message being broadcast live from the center.
Okay.
And so this right here is the extended.
I'm gonna end it on this.
Okay.
And then for all of you that want to do follow up, we'll be discussing later on live. I'll let you know what time we're going live. Probably about 30 minutes to an hour from now, we'll go live. And if there are questions that wasn't answered, we'll answer them at that time. So, Caleb, I mean, we're gonna end the show with this.
Okay.
But I know, right? My miracle right now is that I know that what you see in the mountains, I see you. When I see you, I see that mountain. You are that mountain from my perspective. When I see you, I see something great. I see something that was created with care and majestic and mighty and big and small and all these things at the same time. Created in a majestic and a beautiful way, right? When I see you, I see the mountain. So,
awesome.
And in reference to the last thing you said, which was the mountain, when your miracle is when you pass by the mountains, you get you're awe-inspired, if you will. And I'm awe-inspired when I see you and when I see him, because I know that you are miracles. And the last thing you said was, after you said the mountain, what was it he said, Brother Ray? You remember?
I said the mountain.
No, he said one more thing after that.
Talking about like the iPhone
and
creation.
The iPhones don't compare to the mountains.
Right. And I see you as the mountain. Not only do I see you as the mountain, there is no comparison to you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This earth is a complex existence, right? So are you.
And I like how you said that it's a complex organism, right? It's not complicated.
Right, it's a complex organism.
It's simple complexity.
And I would like to share this with you, not only to end our show, but also share this with you personally. I believe that your body, our bodies, represent a manifestation of the earth. And that you are, as a body, just as complex, or maybe even more complex than the earth itself. And I would like for you to explore that as much as possible. Learn as much about God as possible. And I'll share that God is within you. You know, and I want to thank you for taking time out to come and share with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So Brother Ryan can play us. Well, I know you beat me 7. So, do the exit, man, so we can get out of here.
Like you guys see, this show, The Message, is not about, trying to prove somebody wrong or somebody right. It's just an open dialogue, it's an open discussion, one person to another. As we come together and we talk about what God Almighty means to us, we might just so happen to establish a common language. But that's not the point of it all. It's not to convince anybody of any one thing, or
just sharing.
It's just sharing.
So,
it's just sharing.
How do you feel about what we shared with you today?
Everything, sounded pretty.
Can you tell our audience how do you feel about what you was shared or was shared with what was exchanged today? Tell our audience how you feel about it.
I personally feel pretty encouraged. It's a nice little new perspective. And I go around and I knock on people's doors, and so having that perspective and being able to view everyone that I talk to as someone who's God's creation, and remember that every time that every time they open the door, I think it'll help me just have a better day in general. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for being here, brother.
So as we close on this first installment of The Message, broadcasting live from the center, and we'd like to thank everybody that joined us today with their perspectives, and let's continue to share these perspectives. On Facebook, you can find us, The Messenger, Facebook /The Messenger. You can also find us on Brother Corey's page, find us on my page, you can find us on Mr. Donatus and King's page. We also can be found way in North Carolina. So stay tuned. There's a lot going on right now. Like I said, we appreciate your presence. Your energy is definitely felt. Let's continue this going. Good night.
Ashe. I love y'all.
All right.
And we out.